If I want my people to be better in the role that they're in, of course, I need to help them become a better individual because we're one person. And too many of us think, oh, well, there's this professional side of us and there's this personal side of us, and those are so different. And you and I both know that is not true. We are one person. And so
Yeah.
if you expect your team to show up being strategic, great communicators, they're on time, they're engaged, they have to be those things in their personal life.
Hello and welcome to Center for Victory's podcast of Your Best Day Yet. At Center for Victory, we're here to help unlock, reinforce, and enrich relationships through personal and professional development. I'm Eric Guy, Chief Victory Officer here at the Center for Victory. With me today is a special new friend. I feel like she's been a friend. She's one of those ones, guys, that kind of those people that when you meet, you just instantly connect. Kind of like some of the other guests that have been on the show in the past. But Miss Kate Volman from the CEO of the Dream Managers. You guys have heard me talk about this quite a bit. A lot of you that listen have probably even received the book from me. But one of my dreams was to go and get certified as a Dream Manager. And I can tell you, I am 100% certifiable now. Kate, welcome to the show.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me, Eric. And I am so thrilled that you achieved one of your dreams and now you're part of our Dream Manager community. I'm so excited.
I'm excited. Rather than me tell the audience what the Dream Manager is, first, tell us your background so everybody knows what brought you into the Dream Manager. That would be the second thing. And then just give us a little rundown of the Dream Manager program.
Yeah, I feel like you could do as good of a job as I to explain the program since you love it so much and it's been part of your world for so long. Like many people, I discovered the book many years ago when Matthew first published it back in 2007, which is so wild.
Yeah.
It's like it's been around for so long and it just still impacts so many people. And I was working at a chamber of commerce at the time, and I invited Matthew to come and speak. I said, hey, come speak to our CEOs. And he spoke. And of course, everyone loved him. And I adored his message and got really on board with everything that he was doing. And so we stayed connected over the years. And I moved on from the chamber to, I was the marketing director for the City of West Palm Beach Community Redevelopment Agency. So I've been very involved in community and businesses and just helping small business and helping people. I mean, in some form or another, coaching, right? Like some form of coaching and really providing a lot of value to the community and business owners. And then I started a marketing agency. And when I was there, all through the years, I was still staying in touch with Matthew and really loved the work he was doing. And I would reach out to him every now and then and just encourage him and ask, why are you not on YouTube? And why are you not sharing your message? And more people to need to know about the Dream Manager. And a lot of people don't realize he's written over 40 books, and The Dream Manager was his first business book. And so we stayed friends over the years. And then I am so blessed that he reached out to me to have a conversation. And Eric, I thought I was getting a new marketing client. I had a marketing agency at the time, but no, Matthew had different plans, and how life is so interesting how it plays out, and invited me to come alongside him and just help more people, help more organizations, and get the Dream Manager into more hands and more companies. And so that is what we do at Floyd Coaching. We certify Dream Managers. We also do a lot of leadership training and executive coaching and speaking. Matthew also wrote a book called The Culture Solution, which is the 6 immutable principles of a dynamic culture. So everything that we do really is around creating a great culture. As you know, the Dream Manager is a fable about a janitorial company that was dealing with a lot of retention issues, and because they knew they needed to do something, they reached out to Matthew, and they implemented the Dream Manager program. And it was a simple program that was asking people about their dreams, like finding out the dreams of their people. And what that did for their company was boost engagement. They started helping people achieve their dreams. They showed up at work differently, and it just really transformed the organization. And what I find particularly interesting is that Matthew said he almost didn't write this book because it it seemed too simple. Like, treat people like people. Wait, like, we have to care about our people so the company will actually grow. Like, what a novel idea, right? And but he did. He needed to write this book, and that's why it
Yeah.
resonates with millions of people all over the world, because so many people have stopped dreaming. And so that is what we do. We certify dream managers that learn how to roll this program out in their organization, and we have a whole curriculum, and they're a coach. They're a coach for their people to help them achieve more dreams and become the best version of themselves.
To a lot of people, it seems a little bit crazy when you say, "Hey, I'm gonna implement this program and put a dream manager in my company." But I was sitting next to a young lady, and I think they have several people inside the company that are dream managers. She wasn't the first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think she was out of Chicago, but she was saying they have locations, I think, in Texas and in other places. What would make somebody, I know the answer to this, but I'm just asking you for our audience. What would make somebody want to put a dream manager in their company?
I love the quotes, the
Yeah.
dream manager,
Well,
because
because
it's true.
that's how people approach me. It's like, a dream manager. What would you want to do that for? Right? It's like, why
Yeah,
wouldn't you do it? For me.
exactly. Exactly. Why wouldn't you? And it's what's really cool is we get to work with leaders like you every day. Leaders like you, leaders like Brian Hess, leaders that care about their people. And so we don't really have to convince most of the people we talk to that why it's important. They're already implementing programs to help their people grow, and that's what's so beautiful. For somebody that is is still kind of on the fence or unclear of why that would make an impact in their organization. I feel like that's a different problem that you're trying to solve for. But if you care about your people, if you are a leader and you care about helping your people become the best version of themselves, and then you read the book, you realize instantly, oh yeah, this makes so much sense. Like, if I want my people to be better in the role that they're in, of course, I need to help them become a better individual, because we're one person. And too many of us think, oh, well, there's this professional side of us and there's this personal side of us, and those are so different. And you and I both know that is not true. We are one person. And so
Yeah.
if you expect your team to show up being strategic, great communicators, they're on time, they're engaged, they have to be those things in their personal life. And so many people, 70% of the workforce is disengaged. They're disengaged. They're showing up. They're not really excited about the mission. They're not, we've heard of all this quiet quitting and great resignation and all these things happening, which quiet quitting is not new. It might have a new
Yeah.
marketing manager because we're calling it something different, but this is not new. And I think it's so exciting to think and to know that there's a program that empowers leaders to give their team members the gift of coaching, the gift of helping them become the best version of themselves. And so they show up at work differently. They become more strategic. They become more loyal. Those people are going to talk about you, even if they decide to leave the organization. They're going to talk so great about you, and that's going to attract other great people to want to work with you. So it's a remarkable program. It really is like the number one employee attraction and development program in the world, on the planet.
On the planet. I was impressed with one, the book is very simple. It's not a hard read. I always give it to any of my cohorts that are graduating. They make it through. That's what they're getting. They're getting that Dream Manager book. And that's how I fell in love with it years and years ago. But the curriculum is very simple. Like, simple in a good way. Like, it's not overly complex or difficult for somebody to actually get in and do the program inside of a company. Because I think a lot of people always, they're like, oh man, what this is going to take a lot of effort. We're going to have to like really put a lot of resources into somebody. We're going to have to find the right person. I find that if you're going along those lines, you could tell me if I'm wrong, Kate, but if you're going along those lines, I think that most companies that at least get that and have leaders that are very people oriented, there's already somebody in the company that could do it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they might not know who it is yet, but they're gonna discover when what is that phrase? You can't once you see, you can't unsee. So once you
Yeah.
see and you're introduced to the idea, you're gonna notice, oh, wait a second. John on my team would be perfect for this. This is exactly what he would be. I mean, he would really excel in it.
Yeah, I think more people need to kind of know about it. And like I said, I mean, I was locked in. Kudos to you guys. I was locked in for the whole 2 days. Like my wife was a little leery about me going as I've been training since '98. So she's like, you're going to go and you're going to pay attention and not disrupt. She's like, what about the other people, those poor trainers? Like she's thinking about everybody else. I'm like, I'll be okay. Really. This was my dream. And kudos to you guys, to Jen, Michelle, even Catalina behind the scenes. I mean, she was like Johnny on the spot with everything. I'm like, holy cow, man, does this lady sleep? I mean, I'm getting emails at 8 o'clock at night. I mean, because there was some urgency to get me there because of how everything happened. But it was just a great program. You had other great people there. I loved that was a good atmosphere because everybody was there because they understood at some level,
Mm-hmm.
right, what they were there to try to do. Right. And it's like, to be able to share that in that smaller group, kudos to you guys. Um, and it's not too difficult and there's lots of support. I'm just like flabbergasted on how much support, even afterwards that we're going to get, in the following 12 months. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, that I mean that was really intentional to put a program that was simple and I love that you have a training background. You've been doing this a long time. So obviously that is we love to hear that, right? Because I feel the same way when I go to a speaking engagement. As a speaker, you're like, okay, this what's going on with this speaker? Who hired this person? Like sometimes it can be you can be a little bit you see it from a different perspective if it's what you do. And so that's amazing. And yeah, the program was created to be simple so that people felt very prepared. When they left, we wanted to make sure people felt very prepared to introduce the program to other people and to roll it out and to just get started immediately. Because that's the biggest thing is you've been doing this a long time. You're a coach. You know how to coach. You deal with people all the time, especially you with like your immersive experience of dealing with people in their homes and everything. And not everybody has that. And so we wanted to make sure that we provided a program where people like you could come and then someone that has never coached could come and be in the same room, get the same information, support each other. And then you also get 12 months of group coaching. And that was intentional so that you can come back and ask questions, stay involved with your cohort, talk to them about what challenges they might be having, what they're doing with the program and really supporting each other. And so that was, everything that we do is very intentional to really support everyone because we want it to be successful. We want to have those success stories. In fact, you and we had you on our Lead with Culture podcast, and one of the things that we love is to share the stories of our dream managers. So we want you to be successful. So in order for that, we want to provide as much support as we can to help you do that.
Hey everyone, Caleb Colt here with AMP Adventures. Today we are out in Glacier National Park in Montana. We're just a couple miles south of Canada. There's some beautiful views here. This is Kinnerly Peak, Kitla Peak, Mount everybody. So it's been a great trip so far. If you're interested on any of our adventures, check out the experiences tab. See you on the trail.
Yeah, well, I just got the green light to order 20. So that's what we're doing here at the Pavement Group. So
I love it.
yeah, it's gonna roll out soon. Hopefully, I'm not letting the cat out of the bag too soon, but what's cool about that is Brian wouldn't care too much anyway. He'd be like, okay, like we're doing this. But that's what they needed. So they just needed a person to roll it out. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Yep.
But talking about getting people on the right track, talking about their dreams. One of the things that we do that I help people do is do what you love. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about your book, right? So Kate has a book, folks. Do what you love. I got a copy, albeit not signed.
Oh, just you wait. Just you wait.
But I mean, again, like simple to the point. Like I like these kind of books, is that's why I wanted to write mine. Like I want to be able to give this to somebody and know that they're going to read it. So what's in here? Like, why should people read this, Kate? And brag a little bit, please. Okay, just I know you don't want to do it, but like one cool cover. I almost lost this the first day I brought it home because our daughter works with us, and she's a big Word person. She's a big Keller person. She's like, I got one of Kate's books, and she's like, I already saw that. I almost took it. So
Oh. Well, that's cool because there is one on the way to her as we speak. So she'll be getting hers soon.
all
And
right,
writing that book was a dream of mine. Talk about
yeah,
dreams. So you had
yeah,
a dream for many years of being a dream manager. I had a dream for many years of writing a book. And like a lot of people talk about writing a book, I've talked about it for years and years and years, and I never did it. And then finally, I just felt compelled to write this book. And it was so cool because it not only did I want to write the book, but man, I just like all of our dreams, they lead us down different paths and we meet new people and we learn new skills and we have new ideas and our mind is open. And that's what writing this book did for me because I got really involved in the writing process and I was studying writers and reading a lot of books on writing and watching webinars on how do you write a book. And it was just such a cool time. And I also hired a writing coach because I'm like, I want it to be a really great book. And in order for it to be the best, I know I need a coach. And so I wrote this book, and in the book, I shared the 7 myths stopping people from pursuing their passions. And it's about your creative gifts, your creative pursuits, some of those things that you might have left behind. And the subtitle of the book is A Guide to Living Your Creative Life
mm-hmm,
Without Leaving Your Job. And I really believe that we are all creative. Like we're all artists. Not everybody
mm-hmm,
believes that they are, but we are. And it might not be because you're writing a book or you're painting or drawing or photography, but maybe for you, it's practicing jujitsu or it's cooking or gardening or whatever creative pursuit that you love that just brings you so much joy. That is what I hope and my dream for people is to reconnect with those passions. And so I wanted to write this book because I know that inviting inviting that creativity back into your life is going to help you live a more fulfilling life. It's going to help you become a better coworker, team member, spouse, friend, daughter, father, whatever. And so I share the 7 myths, and of all of the 7 myths, we go through them, and some of them really resonated with people. One of the myths that that I get a lot of comments on is myth number 6. It has to be perfect. Perfectionism stops us from pursuing our dreams. It stops us from sharing our work. And so we have a whole chapter on that. And then my chapter 7, which is so funny, Eric, because this was probably my favorite chapter, but also my hardest chapter to write. It's the myth inspiration will strike. so often we think, oh, I don't want to go to the gym yet, or I'm not going to start working on my book or writing or start that business. I don't feel inspired. I don't feel like it. I'm going to get that boost of inspiration. You and I both know you're not going to it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Inspiration happens when you actually start doing the work. And so I really love that's probably one of my favorite. That's probably one. Well, I love all the myths, but yeah. So it was really fun to write, and I think my hope for people when I wrote this book, the promise that I wanted to make, because every book has a promise, the promise that I hope to fulfill to the readers is whatever your creative pursuit is that you've given up, whatever creative dream you had that you've abandoned for whatever reason, that you would get started in that again. And so when people started reading the book, I had a chiropractor that reached out to me and said, I read your book. I used to play guitar all the time. I'm a chiropractor. I'm busy. I have 2 kids. I have a wife, life. Life is life. And he said, but you know what I did? I broke out my guitar. I brought it to the office. I started playing in between patients. And he said, not only does it bring me so much joy, but it also started becoming a conversation starter with my patients. Yeah. And some of them played guitar or wrote music or they just started talking to me about their passions. And I thought, oh, that is the whole point of the book is to help push people forward into, no matter if you don't have time, there's not enough time. That's one of the myths. When people, we make excuses for not pursuing our dreams. And so this book is really pushing back on all the excuses that we make and hopefully encouraging and supporting people to help just infuse a little bit more joy and creativity into their lives.
Good stuff. I'm going to try to return the favor that I'm going to try to remember how you said this to me. And when you interviewed me for your podcast, you asked me about 3 questions. Do you remember that?
Of course.
All right. How did you question me with those 3 questions? You asked me for 3 questions I think maybe I'll ask it this way, Kate, and you tell me if I'm wrong or right on this. For our viewers of your best day yet, what 3 questions do you think that you would give to people to help them possibly follow their dreams?
Ooh, so there's so many great questions. I'm just going to tell you the ones that come because there's so many. I can think about it all day.
Yep.
The first one that popped into my mind is one of my favorite questions that I just feel like it's such a good one. And it's, what do you know that you're pretending not to know? I love that question for so many reasons, but I think it really helps you dig into some of the excuses that you might be making, because we all make excuses. And so I just really love that question.
Okay, that's a good one.
I'm going to steal one of your questions, Eric, because it's a question that I ask people, and since we're on a different podcast, they're going to get it.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, bring it.
Because it's one that we ask a lot of our clients, and I think I just love it. It's, what do you really want? What do you really want? There's a portion of the book where I talk about should. We should all over ourselves. There's a lot of things that we feel like we should do or shouldn't say, and I just think it's so important for us to really recognize, okay, wait, coming back to the place of like, what do you really want? And then I always love the question, how do you want your life to look different 1 year from today? And that question, may answer it. That, to me, that's a journaling prompt. It is make it as rich as possible. What are you doing? What time are you waking up? Who are you spending your days with? What kind of work are you doing? What impact are you having in the world? And just let yourself dream. Let yourself dream as to what that perfect, you talk about the perfect day. What does that perfect life look like? What does your creative life look like? So that's a fun journaling prompt.
I like it. I like it a lot. And then you just mentioned it, so I'm going to ask it. This is the last question we ask all of our guests because it's called Your Best Day Yet. Give us your take on your best day. What does
Best
that look like
day.
for you?
Best day. Best day is, to me, it's a day immediately. I'm just going with my initial thoughts. Immediately I thought, wake up early, work out, which is what I do every day already. So
Yeah.
I have great days. So work out in the morning. And a great day to me means spending time with people I love, doing work I enjoy, and making an impact. And if I get to do that, it's a good day.
It's a good day.
Creating like,
Yep.
create something.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. You going to come back on the show? So, because I want to dig into this book more.
Oh yeah,
Will you
I'll
come
come
back?
back.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay. So,
If you'll
folks, if you're
have
listening,
me.
absolutely. If you're listening and watching, and we could possibly, Kate, if you we might get a live on air committal for the canyon. We could do a little podcast with you in the canyon on
Oh
some
my
of these
gosh.
myths.
Oh my gosh. Look at Eric putting me on the spot. I know.
I know she's got things to think about, but tune in, folks. Those of you that follow us when we do the canyon, and you follow us on social media as we're going through the canyon. Kate might
Yeah.
be one of those wonderful souls that go with us.
I'll be yelling at you halfway through. I'll be like,
Yeah.
what have you gotten me into?
Yeah, we're used to that. The book again, gang, is Do What You Love, and a guide to living your creative life without leaving your job. I love it. Very simple, impactful. Have you back, and we'll dig through this a little bit more, Kate. But thanks for coming on and being on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Eric. And thank
And
you for all the work that you're doing and sharing your creativity with the world.
yeah, I appreciate it. That's all for today, folks. Like, share, do all that good stuff. We appreciate it. We appreciate you as an audience. And if you want more information, you can follow us at centerforvictory.com. And just remember, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, make this your best day yet.